YouTube, the recording. So this session, as you know, is mainly for answering your queries. If you have any doubts, thoughts, suggestions, anything at all regarding design thinking our course, or anything related to your application of design thinking, in a case that in case you're working on that, we would like to know that as well. So along with me are Sukrat and Shyam, who will sort of guide they're the masters of ceremony, so they will guide us through the process of taking us through questions. In case there are unanswered questions from last week, or there are something on the forum that has been around for a few days, we will take that up and try to answer that or respond to that in this session. Okay. That is one part. The second part is that exams. So that's another FAQ. What about exams? Exams, we have a dedicated session coming up in October, just before your exams, to keep those butterflies at bay. I know that exam is an exam, whether it's an online, whether it's offline, whether it is you go to a center, you take it at home, it's going to be an exam. So we empathize with that. We have taken ourselves a lot of exams. We know how it is. So we will definitely address those. A special session for that. What is the format? What is the question? Everything we will cover in our October session. So over to you, Sukrat and Shyam.
Thank you, sir. So can you see the orange slide?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. That was just the intro thing. So in the last session, I believe we had taken most of the questions. The new form that was floated, I've added those questions to our presentation here, and I can show them to you. Apart from that, I would urge how many ever participants there are, in case you have any doubts, questions, anything popping in your head, just write either on the chat or raise your hand, and we will, talk to you face to face or voice to voice. Anyway, so the first question that we have here. So
the last date என்ன பண்ணலாம் பட் எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் நல்லா பழக்கமா இருக்கு.
Yeah. So I would request people who are joining to just stay on mute unless they have something very important to say. Okay, fine. So this is the book written by Bala sir. You can find it here. This is what was the prescribed textbook to the course. If you want, I can send you the link on the chat here. Otherwise, if you just search it on Amazon, you will find Karmic Design Thinking by Dr. Balaram Durai. Anyway, sir, so for us, the first question that popped up was, what is the use of this course? And I thought that this would be a very generic question, but I think that you would have a very strong answer to this question. So we should address this question definitely.
Superb. I like such profound questions. I would take the
very open-ended question.
Right, absolutely. So thank you so much for that question. Very honest and very simple. The idea of this course, first of all, is that it will help you in creating products or services. Okay, design thinking is a problem-solving methodology which will help you create new products and services. Okay. And if you have existing products and services that you already have, it will help you enhance that. It will help you create new features for those products and services. Okay. So that's the main focus of any problem-solving methodology. How is design thinking different from any other problem-solving methodology? Is that it's human-centered. So the human being that the person who's asking the question. So suppose your output in this world, that is, you're doing something at work, in a college, in your institute, in your company, in your startup, and your output goes in the service of somebody. That somebody becomes the center of anything that you do. Okay, so your product or service does not operate in vacuum, it does not evolve on its own, but it is at the service of this person who's going to benefit from it. Their life becomes better than what it used to be. That's why the service is there. Okay. So, this method of empathize, analyze, solve, and test that you have seen in these 4 weeks will help you in coming up with better understanding of whoever is the recipient of your service or product. If you're a teacher, you're teaching, you will understand from a student's point of view, what are they receiving? How are they receiving it? If you're a student, you will understand if your output eventually when you're working for an organization or if you want to work for an organization, what does that mean to be working there and to be at the service of somebody else? So, or if you're inside a company, your output is being used by someone, what does it mean to be on the receiving end of your output? That is the focus of this course. And there are these, when you go through these stages, the empathize, analyze, solve, and test, EAST for short, it will guide you towards making that a better product, better service that you can offer to your customers. So that's the main reason. And you have been doing this at some level. If you're working for a company, a academic organization, or you've been a student at some level, you've been doing this. Okay, no matter what. But can that be made more concentrated and focused? That's why this course is really helpful. So thank you so much for asking that course. Hopefully that answers why we have this course. What utility can you basically use out of this? Strong urge. And the last point I wanted to convey is that take the learning from this course and apply it to whoever it is that is the recipient of the output. That is for us completes the journey, completes the cycle for us. So that's a strong recommendation at the end of the what do you do with the learning? Apply it to someone in your home, in your office, wherever, and make a positive influence in their life. So that's the overall reason why we have this course.
Right. Thank you, sir. And everybody who's on the call, if you have any comments or anything to ask, please feel free to use the chat box. Balaswar, I'll be showing the next question now.
Please.
Yeah. This is somebody from the academy, actually, PMS Halika.
Okay.
I'm wondering if you are going to plan more courses on design thinking. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, thank you so much for this course. In fact, this question has had different variations. So people have asked, okay, if this is the basic course, where is the advanced course? Can we do another one so that you can substantiate learning of this? The answer to that is very simple. Is this is an application-oriented course. So, right, so you've seen and watched what Siddharth and company did. You have learned the concepts, or you at least heard the concepts from me. Now, how do I really apply it? Okay, use the inspiration, use how much Siddharth and go take this learning from the lecture and apply it to their particular problem. You can do the absolute same thing. This is the follow-up course, so to speak. The result, which is what I had in the previous question also, is an offshoot. And in a workshop, in a real course, not the online version, but the real course, if I have face-to-face or if I have an online workshop, we would do exactly the same thing. Cover the theory for you in the morning, maybe an hour or so. And rest of the day is about you taking it and applying it on a real world problem. So for us, this is the next level, advanced level, the course itself. Okay. Now, yes, I do agree sometimes that what works for a company may not work for an academic organization, which may not be the same as a startup. But the principles are the same. If you would like, and this is a appeal to people like Salika who feel that, hey, I learned what this technique is all about. I have heard enough stories, I've seen these guys apply it. I would like some help with this. I won't apply it in my real life, but I really would like some help. Feel free to reach out to us, write to us, Sukrat, Sham, or me. We would be more than happy to help you out in your organization, in your college, with your students, with your colleagues. We arrange workshops via NPTEL. We have FDP programs, faculty development programs. Since this person is from the academia, I'm sort of addressing that part. We have faculty development programs. I've done in-person faculty development programs. I've done online faculty development programs. In fact, we can use this. This course is also meant as a faculty development program credits. Also, you can show it to your management and say, "Hey, I've completed this course. I need my credits for that." You certainly can certainly avail of that. So those are few things that I would highly recommend you do. Take it, run it by yourself, make your learning, have a journal or something, and keep getting better at it. And with through application on different projects, not just one, but as many as you can. And the learning, those are the advanced courses I really would recommend. Going on the field, going meeting absolute strangers, getting to know their point of view and helping them out. And that's the real design thinking. Okay. The design thinking that we teach is what we have learned from such an experience, such experiences from the class, from either from my through my students, through people I work with, companies with, or my own projects. I have learned all this. I've encapsulated all that into this course. That's what this course is about, so that you can do and mimic and make other people's lives better. Okay. Having said that, I am totally open to. So we also have workshops. Okay, we do have follow-up workshops. Sham and Sukrat will circulate the online form so that you can submit your proposal. At the end of the fourth week, I had an appeal to you saying, hey, if you have some proposal that you want to use that as a trigger for your workshop, by all means, we will have that. We will have the link for you. Put in some of your ideas, what you want to work on, so that we can apply it in the workshop. So that workshop is coming up. We will announce the dates also of those workshops, not workshops, depending on the demand. If a lot of you want the workshop, we will have multiple workshops, or we'll have at least one. For sure, we'll have at least one. And we've had several in the past where many of you join, log in online, and we conduct team-based design thinking workshops where you take these principles and apply it. So there are many such options available for you to sort of learn this technique. But we strongly, this is a very learning biased workshop, as somebody called it. If you can learn it by doing, and that's what we recommend. Learning by listening is what, or learning by watching is what you do in this course as we offer it. But learning by doing is what we highly, highly recommend. Okay, so go ahead and apply this and learn it for yourselves. Right, so that's going to be how it works.
Perfect. I have received a DM, which is by Sukanta, and she says, I work with the NGO. I want to
Yeah.
apply the learning to design training and community strategy. Do I need a different approach or trim a bit to suit my need?
Okay, great question. The question is around, okay, I'm in an NGO, I work in a different kind of organization compared to, say, academia, or I've heard several variants of this question, so I'm trying to sort of repeat it so that it's broader in context. How does it work? What do I do? Is there any specific tweaks that I have to do for an NGO, or is it the same up? Okay, so the answer to that is, an NGO is an organization where you take ideas, implement in the form of a service or a product, which is exactly where all organizations, whether they're for profit, not for profit, academia, doesn't really matter. They all work in the same sort of steps that you take ideas, implement them. But there are some steps need to be done before and after that, right? So the before is you need to socialize with your customers. Who are going to benefit out of this NGO? I don't know who your target people are that you're trying to benefit. Let's say uh, I used to work uh, closely with an NGO who targeted rural inventors. Okay. So what we did was that is our personality. So we looked at rural inventors, what excites them, what is their journey, who is a typical rural inventor, and then we shape the program so that so the next one is analyzed, right? So their problems are so unique that we how to relate to that, but so we had to find it out from them. We went there on the field. Some of my students did that, and then came back and reported a few tweaks that had to be done so that it was localized for them, right? So that's the empathize part. First, to know who it is that you're targeting. Analyzes the problems are so unique because I am in a different setup compared to where the end customers are. You find it from them, and then you generate your ideas on what you think may work for them and put it back into as a prototype. Run it with a small minimal class, minimal product, minimum viable product. That's what they call MVP in the prototype. Try it with these people. Was your hunch correct? Was your analysis correct or not? Okay, that is something that you can verify and come back all the way to empathize. So, with several cycles of running it over and over again, you sort of get better at it. You get to understand the customer even better, and that's how I would go about it. NGOs are no different from any other organization, academia, companies, startups. All of these work in very similar format. Of course, there are unique stuff in the startups are different, their resources are different, companies, their resources are different, academia works very differently. Yes, there are differences, but at the core, how design thinking really works is very similar. You have to socialize and find out what is it that people are going through, analyze the problems unique to them, and shape your program, your ideas based on what you think will work for them. Go validate it, go test it on the market, in the field, not just with your colleagues, but actually with people who are going to benefit out of it. That's when the actual proof in the pudding. So you get to know what can work and what cannot work. Figure out why it didn't work, or the why it didn't work. Figure out why it didn't work, and some of the things that work, retain them, and proceed with the next cycle of it. So precisely how we would go about doing it. Just that I think in a NGO context, you may sometimes work with several customers, several types of customers. Great. So then work out a persona for each of them, each type of persona. So suppose you have, say, for our case, a rural inventor, there were local entrepreneurs, there were medical. So for each of those, we had to craft a persona, get their journey, get their unique. So our program got richer. Whenever they joined in, we got to know who they were, and we could cater the program for them. Okay. So this is some of the hints of how it could help you in structuring whatever it is that you're doing. I don't know precisely what you do, but sort of at a broad level, this is what will help you in structuring your approach, your format for that particular activity that you're doing. Okay. I got a question also, Sukrat, on the chat. And there was a similar one that I got as an email as well, which is saying, Namaste, sir. Namaste. I started the course really late and definitely admire it. Okay, thank you so much for the kind words. But I missed 3 assignments. Is it possible for me to appear for the exam? Okay. Now, Sukrat and Shyam are probably better judges of this. As far as I know, okay, let me say that from my side before I hand it off to Sukrant and Sham. As far as I know, three is just a bit too much. You need to have, we say three assignments out of four. So you can miss, I think, one, but missing three is probably a bit too much. It's not going to be possible for you. Even if you take the exam to get a certificate, you can take the exam for practice, you can take it, but to have a certificate, I'm not so sure. You cannot pass it because you already have missed three assignments. Now, can you submit the assignments right now? I don't think it's possible, and I don't think I have any rights to change the deadline like that, because all the 500 odd courses in NPTEL are governed by the exact same deadline. Okay, and so it's probably not possible. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sukrat and Sham. What I said, was it correct?
Correct, sir. I replied to that message.
Okay.
I mean, students can try and write to the support team regarding this, but I think the deadlines are automated, or
Yes.
so we don't really have a say in giving that sort of a power to somebody. But they can definitely try and write to support, and if they have a thing to reply, they will definitely. So we have a raised hand here.
Please.
Aditya Dhan. Yeah.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. Nice to see you guys.
Same
Yeah,
here.
currently I'm working on week four transcripts and all that.
Okay.
So actually, sir, when we go for assignments, there are a few MCQs which create lot of dispute in our mind that what the correct answer should be, because
Okay.
there we thought that it can have multiple answer, but actually it's a
Okay.
radio button. So we have to
Okay.
select one option, but the
Fine.
question is in such form that it creates a conflict, कि ये वाला हो सकता है कि वो ऑप्शन सही हो सकता है. तो मतलब, and the problem which personally I faced that one or two MCQs answers, they were not available in the transcript. So for that I think I have to surf the internet, and internet, sir, it's a bundle of information. So luckily I got corrected because I put my guesswork over there. So might that guessworks at the time when assignment was checked, I have got the results also up till now. So it's all.
Sir, if it's okay with you, can you, if you still have some record of those questions, can you please share them with us? Because essentially it is just Bala sir and just
No, sir, that is
a
why I
few
want
more
to ask
people who
that.
are making the
Sir,
questions.
actually, no, I have no
Yeah,
problem from that, sir. I
yeah,
just want to convey
yeah,
that actually the thing is that last week also I asked this question that when we are to prepare for the exam, we
yeah.
have to go with these transcripts only. But as you said that sir has written one book also, so
Right.
it won't be feasible for us to go through such a long syllabus.
Um, See, essentially, for appearing for the exam, if you are doing moderately well in the assignments, it shouldn't be a problem for you. Going through the book, I understand, will be quite a stretch in such a limited time to arrange the book and read the book, then remember most of the lessons in it. But see, essentially, what we are asking in the questions is in the final exam question, that is one, the first is the practical application of design thinking. Say, for example, you might be given a couple of uh, uh, live examples or examples of where you can or how you can apply design thinking. And apart from that, there is a little bit of theory, which is most of it which is covered in the transcripts. So just if you are clear with the concepts or what is happening and you have like a decent hold of English, I think you'll be able to solve it.
Sir,
Okay.
actually,
May I interrupt?
Yeah,
Sorry,
sure.
I just want to respond, saying that, so if you think there are some questions which are confusing and you think there are similar responses or options, please let us know if it is genuine. If we think there is really genuinely some confusion, we'll definitely retract it. If we think there is some merit to that, and it is also valuable feedback for us because we have vetted it twice already between the
So
three of us.
I give one
We
I
go
give
over
one
it
example.
and we vet it and we make sure that it reads fine from a student learner perspective. But there may be mistakes. We are human beings, so we do make mistakes. So it's quite possible
No,
that
no,
it is
no, that
confusing.
is not an issue. Actually,
Okay.
I gave one example to you in the very first assignment of
Hmm.
I think it's second part of the first week assignment. There was some full form like international something. It was having two options, international or I
I think that was Triz full form, was it?
नो नो सर ट्रिस से पहले वाली असाइनमेंट जो थी वो इंटरनेशनल था उसका पहला वर्ड इंटरनेशनल समथिंग तो वो when I actually I marked that full form international when I after doing the assignment when I checked the internet also it was same international but in the assignment when I got corrected back it was some other full form.
Sure. So bring this up for sure. Yes. Thank you for bringing this up. This is valuable feedback for us as well. We would definitely, you can, in case you don't want to put it in the discussion forum, you can write to one of us. Sukrat, I would request you to share your email address in this chat. Please write to us and we'd
Sir,
love to take that
I have
feedback
one
for
more
us.
suggestion for you people. Is
Yeah.
it feasible for you people to create a WhatsApp group? I don't think
Wow.
matlab, it's a very
Okay.
huge number of people that it's not feasible
Oh, we
for
have
you.
8,000 registrants, so it's not going to be possible for a
Okay,
WhatsApp
okay,
group.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So, discussion forum is one of the sustainable, scalable of what it is. Of course, we still have a limited team, but we can manage. The three of us, we can manage so many. There are not so many questions on the discussion forum, but creating a WhatsApp group is not practical. It's not feasible at all.
You can share your
And
email IDs with us.
yeah, that is going to do. Email we can handle
As and when
between the
convenient, we
three of
can
us.
either email you or Mr. Sukrat or Mr. Sham, whosoever will be available.
Sure, sure. Would be happy to have your feedback.
So
Yes.
there was a question asking where to submit write-ups and other proposals. So
Yes.
I have answered that, and Aditya sir,
Okay.
your query also. So I've pasted my email ID in the last, in the end of that message. That is
Okay.
sukrat@onlinedegree.iitm.ac.in. So you can use that and write to me whenever. I try to be prompt enough. I try not to delay the reply more beyond 12 hours.
No,
But
he's very prompt. That I
yeah,
can assure.
very prompt.
Much more prompt than I am. So I can vouch for Sukrat's promptness. He will respond for sure.
One more issue got here.
Yeah.
Actually,
Please.
I'm resident of Jalandhar, Punjab.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I actually registered for the exam, and my first preference was the local city only.
Yeah.
That I may
Okay.
get seat for the center in here only, but they gave a message to me, Jalandhar seats are already filled.
Yeah. Either it will be Chandigarh or Ludhiana
Yeah,
for
so
you.
second preference I feel Chandigarh, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, not something that we can look into, but you can write to support requesting them to change it or somehow accommodate you to
Yeah.
Jalandhar.
नहीं नहीं सर चंडीगढ़ ठीक है सर घूम भी लेंगे थोड़ा सा
चंडीगढ़ से मस्त जाओ सर मैं लुधियाना का बंदा हूँ मेरे को पता
सर पेपर के बाद थोड़ा
है
सर आफ्टर एग्जाम थोड़ा घूम फिर भी लेंगे ना चंडीगढ़
ठीक
फिर
है
वो
सर
ठीक
जाओ फिर
रहेगा
फुल पार गड़ियां मारो ठीक है anyway
Okay.
sir we
Thank
have
you so
another
much.
question
actually
Yeah.
yes
sir
sir
my principal ma'am she also did one course from the Swayam portal and
Okay.
she's very good in guiding us people and she was
Okay.
telling that Swayam portal she also appeared for the offline paper and she said paper was completely multiple choice questions.
This is true. Yeah, this is great for our course, right? Yes, it's
Yes.
completely multiple choice. We will give you the full detail. Don't worry. October is full reveal. We're going to talk about only exams and the format and all that. For
Actually, sir,
sure.
the
And
thing is
also
that
hall
we
ticket
have to start
queries
planning
and
from right now only because as days are getting so fast. So after
yeah.
this week 4 assignment, at least I am surely going to take out the printouts of all the transcripts. So
Okay.
it will be
Good.
feasible for me to read from those printouts rather than just
Brilliant.
sitting online and all that.
Great idea. Thank you so much. Thank you for your
Thank you.
feedback.
Thank
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have one more question, sir. It
Yeah.
is from Faizan Hussain. He said that I'm working as a senior customer executive at Amazon and pursuing UI UX UI design course from Imagine XP and doing this course also. So what else can we do to boost design thinking?
Okay. There's no boosting required. You hang out with your users and you will do very well. That's the main focus. The UX, I'm sure as a senior customer executive, you're doing very well with respect to the UX design, the UI design. You're an expert at that. But what to do? What are the ideas that will really clinch? The main focus should be your user and different types of users, right? So it's not only one a person, people like you who are going to use your app or website, but there'll be lots and lots of different types of people from all over the globe. So your job will be to gain expertise on how do I infer problems, how do I empathize with people who are very, very dissimilar from me, right? So I don't know if you remember, there's a video in the first week on Professor John Arnold. He talks about aliens and all that. Very similar in thinking is going to be you will have to think about not only yourself or people like you or people you are familiar with, but people who are very dissimilar and you don't know anything about. This skill alone will enhance or boost your design thinking skills. The rest of the stuff, since you're doing very well at a reputed company, you will do fine. So for me, I don't have any doubts in your abilities in the rest of the process, in the analysis, in the solution, and the test. But in the empathy is very, very critical. And let me be honest, it's part art, part science, right? So we can give you the tools, customer journey mapping on how to list problems, how to look at what is it that we can solve for them. But it's really the knack about knowing what to ask, where to find, how to find out what customers are going through. That's going to be critical in really getting to know your customer. So pay attention to that, enhance your skills. Start talking to strangers on a bus, in a train. Just get to know them for the heck of it, not for any ulterior motive in trying to make their life better and things. It actually boosts or enhances your design thinking skills. Okay. Early, a long time ago, I've had journeys where I sit through 6, 7 hours of a journey and I don't know who my neighbor is. That has happened in the past. No longer is the case because I really wanted to improve my empathy skills. So I actually started talking to whoever is there. Very little things, Oh, look at that tree. Oh, it looks very interesting. And then you can start talking. Oh, where are you from? Oh, wow. Okay. And go on and so forth. This skill of getting to know somebody, not for any ulterior selling something or anything, but just to get to know them for the sake of getting to know them is a very, very useful skill to have. I would highly recommend, if at all, if you want to boost your design thinking skills, that would be one skill that you should definitely learn.
Sir, I want to share something here.
So
So,
please, you're the best guy.
do you remember the elevator project
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I took upon myself?
Yeah,
So-
if you can give us a few, opening 1 minute on what the project is all about.
Sure, sir. So it is still an ongoing project. It's like I'm still empathizing. So I'm sorry, there's some disturbance of somebody speaking behind me. Yeah, so what I felt was that I used to live in an apartment building which was 6 floor tall, and I used to live on the top floor. And in that the whole while of that elevator ride, I used to feel a little awkward because there could be somebody else that I would be sharing the space with. There could be some cramp, the space would be a little cramped, the lighting would be a little dingy, a lot of factors adding on to it. So I took upon this project after Balas's nod that what can we do to improve the experience, the elevator experience. So basically, elevate your elevator experience. So what I did was I just made a very open-ended Google form. Not that I recommend making a Google form, but I just made it uh, in a very open-ended sense, so people can respond to it without the restriction of having given them options, so they can just express themselves freely. And very sneakily, I put the QR code of it in the lifts of different malls that I've visited in the following months. Okay, anything, even I still have those small QR code stickers in my wallet, right? And I just keep pasting them until date. I keep getting responses, and what that has enabled is that some people who are actually putting in efforts to scan and record, like reply to all of that, that is giving me an insane amount of insight as to what goes on in people's mind while they are uh, traveling in an elevator, right? So that definitely is helping towards my approach to thinking of a solution for that problem, right? Because I didn't expect that people will have those emotions that I actually read in the form responses, that I could never have imagined that people also feel all of this, right? So, rightly said, empathizing is like the best thing to do as a design thinker. Talk to people, be absolutely shameless in your approach. I mean, do respect their boundaries and limitations, but if you really want to know a person, try to get as much information comfortably out of them as possible. So that is a great thing. Another thing that I worked on, one of the projects that I worked on was for a baker, and I have technically essentially seen her build from scratch, and I know the problems that she was facing, and hence I could deliver solutions in a much more adaptive manner. So it's best that you know who you are solving for, or like solving for, and you could come up with a better solution. Anyway, sir, the next question that was pasted in the forum was: I'm a faculty.
Mhm.
I'm wondering on how this course can be executed as UG course for a semester. This is again the same
Oh,
person as the previous question.
okay, great. Thank you so much for the question. So UG is undergraduate, in case somebody is wondering. So the this course is about taking scenarios or cases to its logical next steps, which is to empathize and analyze, solve, and test. Okay, those are the 4 steps. But a precursor to this, particularly when you're working with students, is asking them to think of scenarios around them that they want improved. So they should feel motivated to say that I'm going to make that difference through my actions. Okay. Which are these scenarios? So is it somebody waiting for a long time in a bus stop? Is it somebody trying to enter a building on a wheelchair? Is it helping somebody reach a higher level in a retail store? These are all real problems that my students worked on. I'm not making any of these up. My students strongly felt about these people, and they wanted to make a difference. They found that there were people who could not reach the third shelf in a retail store. So they actually visited a store to these people, observed what they were doing and what are the products up there, and then so on and so forth. There are students who went outside their college and looked at these people waiting for a bus for a really long time, and their legs ached and there was no chairs or whatever to make them sit. They empathize with them, and so on and so forth. There are so many I can go on. So first question to your students should be: what is it that which kind of people, which kind of problem do you see all around yourself that you want improved? It could be simple laundry, it could be bus stand, it could be anything. Okay. But ask them to come up with it. Why? Because if you give it, it's your problem that they're trying to solve. If they bring it up, it's their problem that they want to solve. Okay, it's a completely different ball game because they brought it up. They are feeling passionate. They want to make some difference to it. Okay, and then our job as faculty is about guiding them through this process. No longer is it about telling them what to do for that target persona. It's about now implementing design thinking more than the case itself. So, case ownership is one of the most powerful things that a faculty can do. You can ask them, you will find something that are not feasible. They will say, I want to improve somebody in the African nations. It's not feasible to do that. So ask them to look around in the neighborhood, in around the campus, and see if there are several situations where people need help. You can ask your students to do that. I've asked that several times. I asked my students to go out, figure it out for themselves. We come back with lots of interesting stories where they make an important and positive impact. And it's their own thing. It's not my project, it's their project. So they will take ownership. They will make sure that it goes all the way. Okay, it's important that you don't dish out projects or give out projects, but you wait for them. But give them simple criteria. Don't go more than 1 kilometer. Don't talk to strangers who are, it is unsafe situation. I'm not saying don't talk to strangers, which is what we recommend. I just recommended earlier. Unsafe situations. Just keep away from that. Don't take pictures where people have clearly said don't take pictures. Okay. So simple ground rules like this, but ask them to go explore on their own. Okay. That's one of the sure shot ways to make your UG course a lot of fun, and it's student directed. It's no longer a lecturer led or a faculty led course, but a student led initiative. And very, very soon, very, very quickly, all these guys will go talk to their classmates and you know what I did today? And they will narrate the whole thing. They will be your brand ambassadors. They will talk about your course, and others will want to join your course as well. Okay. So that's one of the easiest things that you can do. Of course, the what should be inside a course is what we do in this course. Absolutely, you can use it as is. All the content in either in the MOOC or in this course, you can use it, teach it as you find it in this course. That is exactly why we built this course, so that you can take it and run it in your institution. Again, you need help doing that. Sukrat, Sham, and I are there for you to help you out. Okay, so that's our promise that we will help you out for sure. Reach out to us.
Okay, so the next question we have is, can you suggest some project idea of constructing simple prototype for fourth semester students?
Okay, excellent question. There's a lot of unknowns and there are a lot of things that I'm just going to assume. Fourth sem for me is actually guys who are and I teach management students. Fourth sem people don't even think about which institution they're part of because they're already almost done with their course requirements. So I'm assuming this is a UG undergraduate sort of similar scenario. And I'm guessing constructing simple prototype would mean again, this is again a big scope. Are you talking about human resources? Are you talking about engineering? Are you talking about, I don't know, services, IT? It could be anything, right? So there are a lot of unknowns in this question. Again, project ideas. Okay. Again, a whole scope. Okay. Now I'm going to try to generalize it as much as I can. Refer to the previous question that I answered. Ask your students to come up with this. They will figure out a way to make a simple prototype. You tell them use resources that are lying around. I'm not going to pay you a pie. I'm not going to give you a single rupee to make a prototype for you. You figure it out. Okay, go there. They'll bring broken sticks. They will bring boxes that people are not even looking at, discarded wire, discarded plates. They will make a beautiful prototype. You don't worry about it. They will make it for sure. The ownership back on students. That's the best thing I have learned over my teaching career is to put the ownership back on students. You'll be amazed at what all they can come up with. Motivated students. So when the ownership is with them, I'm fortunate enough to work with two institutions where it's largely student driven. Symbiosis here in Pune and in IIT Madras, it's heavily student run. So there they take the ownership and do it. So I'm happy to give that ownership to them, and they will come up with some amazing stuff. So rest assured, the students need guidance and not instructions. Okay, so they will come up with some brilliant stuff. They will make these simple prototypes that you're looking for. If you have sophisticated stuff, 3D printers or circuitry and all that stuff, by all means, great. Otherwise, sky's the limit on what imagination and a bunch of scrap can do for you. That's what Edison said, right? All you need is a lot of junk and a great imagination. You can work miracles, which is what he did. So that's my advice to you. I don't think I gave specific advice, but more leave it to your students. They will come up with some good stuff. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question.
Okay. We have more questions. What is the best way and how can we prepare? So, exam, we will be conducting a different session altogether.
Right.
So we'll be giving you weightage, the divisions and everything, all of that sort, in that live session. If there is something related to marks, you can definitely go refer to the homepage of design thinking. I believe the mark distribution has been presented there.
Yeah.
Right. Apart from that, how do we practice and learn design thinking more often is a question. I believe over the answers in this live session, we have answered that. So
And the answer is right there. It's practicing and learning. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
it's practicing and
The
learning. So
answer is right there. Take something.
there's
Yeah, this is like the third or fourth time I'm going to say this. Take something that you care about and make a difference to somebody who's a recipient of your service or a product.
okay.
Practice, learn, practice, learn.
About this question also, about sorry, there was a prototype question. Yeah. So in prototyping, again, you can't expect students to create a prototype without actually identifying a problem, because making a prototype does need a lot of input and insight as to what we are trying to solve with the prototype. So try and identify, like ask the students to either identify an individual or a group of individuals, talk to them and figure out what their problem is, and then try eventually make a prototype out of it. Or what we are trying to do in one of the courses is that you give them, or have them allot themselves a specific industry or anything, basically anything which has a broader prospect, and identify the problems that are in the industry by talking to the people working in that industry, and consequently make a prototype for it. Right. Apart from that, yeah. Sorry, this is not it. Yeah. So this is something new that we are trying in this live session. Even Bala sir doesn't know much about it. So
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
so,
Okay.
yeah, this is my attempt of empathizing with the learners. Although we keep getting feedback in sort of a feedback form that we float at the end of the course, but since we are a decent number of people here, I would definitely like to ask you these three questions. What is your key takeaway from the entire course that you have experienced till now? What did you like the most, and where can we improve? So we definitely got audio feedback by Mr. Aditya about the exams and everything. But if there is anything else that we can improve upon, or if there is anything that you actually like, or if there is anything that will stick by you, you can feel free to unmute or write in the chat box. So that is all up to you.
May I?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first and the best part, which we like the most, was the clarity of the concept in the videos. Like sir is speaking, and at the bottom the lines are being shaded, and auto scroll option, right? And the examples and the case study, like just recently I was studying that case study of Davy, that copper ship having that copper, and it got corroded when then, like that. So such examples, they are very lively. And that sir, when he was moving in the Ajanta caves and he was explaining the concept, then the in the recent assignment he took example, he gave us the clues that it has 20 wheels. So when just we got the point of 20 wheels, suddenly the train comes into our mind that it was train only. So such live examples were very nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your
And
kind words.
the one more part which I like was that the comparison of the design thinking stages with the Buddhist principles. Though name was a bit complicated, but that example was good.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for your candid feedback.
Yeah. And improvement chance are make MCQ little bit easy. Sometimes we
Yeah,
actually
there's
those
always scope for improvement. And thanks. We heard your suggestion last time also. And this time also, we will work on that for sure.
सर
So,
वो ये ना होना कि वो बिल्कुल ही नीचे हो जाए लेवल थोड़ा सा
yeah,
मतलब
got it,
but
got it. No, we have noted
till
it
now
down. Thank you.
till now
In
तो
fact,
God bless
in the
I got good score.
Great.
So
Congratulations. Excellent.
thank you.
Excellent.
I tried for 100, but unfortunately, one or the other way,
Okay.
one
Okay.
question goes wrong.
that's
Okay.
In
Okay.
fact, in the last workshop, we got a feedback that our questions were too easy.
Yeah,
So we
exactly.
worked on that feedback, and now we're getting a feedback that it's a little too difficult.
No, actually, good
No,
point, sir,
all
is that
MCQs are not difficult,
Yeah.
right?
but actually, at least what I want to say that 2 3 questions are there for which the matter was not clear in the transcripts, so they
Got it.
created confusion in the mind.
Right. No, I think the target, I mean, the aim of our MCQs primarily give it very objective, right? So should be recall based questions. So it's for self learning. I mean, we are not
Yes,
testing
yes.
you per se. Okay, in the assignments at least. In the final exam, yes, we are testing you. But in the assignments, it's basically to drive self learning because there's an online course. We are not there or looking over your shoulders where your sources from. It's for self learning, right? But we also want to sort of pick your brains on saying, okay, you know 70% of it, you're able to recall it. What about a little bit more? So that is our trial to do a little bit more than what's there only in the transcript. So that's why, in fact, I was the one who challenged Sukrat and Sham to come up with such questions. So some of it is my doing that we're 70% totally leave it to this transcripts. Can you make it a little more challenging so that people think about this before answering it?
Yeah,
Can you make it that?
that question in the week 3 assignment or Hershey's chocolate question, that
Right.
what factors he was, that was very wonderful question.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you for that
But
feedback.
there are
Very
some
good.
questions on which we focus, and
Right.
case studies are full of live examples. There we find no
Absolutely.
problem.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. There is a comment here. It says, "Can we include design thinking and public policy from next time?" Oh, okay. I'm no expert in public policy, as you can probably imagine. But what I know about public policy, and because it's people facing, people are the target, the methodology works absolutely identical. Okay. So, in fact, all the laws that are made probably started out as either a public interest litigation or something that the lawmakers saw or experienced. Somebody's in an experience in a sad sort of way. I mean, we all of us in the nation mourned Mr. Cyrus Mystery's loss. And it was because of a road accident, and he was the rear seat belt, and led to now we are seeing more traction in terms of rear seat belt also being they're talking about whether it should become mandatory or not, should there be an indicator or not, that kind of a thing. So these things where we focus on the individuals who are using the product or service, that's an extreme example. Like, we don't have to wait for such tragic events for that to happen. We can we can even look at people who are currently using it, a service like what Sukrat is trying to do with this slide, right? He is trying to put you guys in the center and wondering what is it that we have overlooked. We have taken every care, every step possible, but I'm sure we're missing a few. That's what he's trying to see. If there are any things that we can pull out of you guys, and then we'll work on it. We know what to fix, what to change, what to give you more or give you less. We will figure that out, but a sort of empathy will go a long way. So my feeling is that public policy is very similar, uh, and but take it with a pinch of salt. I'm no expert at public policy making, or I've not framed a public policy ever in my life. Okay, I'm the farthest thing you can know from current affairs. I hear most of the news from my wife. I hardly read the paper, right? So that's my trial to answer. So okay, you
So
understand. Thanks for the
your book
invitation.
is available in the market or it's online available only?
It is available in the market. Market as in Amazon and Flipkart. You can order it. You can get a
Okay.
printed print version.
Okay.
Plus the electronic version is available on Amazon Kindle.
Is
So those
online
are the,
PDF available, sir?
no. I don't believe in online PDFs. Yeah. So I still am old fashioned. I like the printed version. So because some people ask me online, I made it Kindle available. So if you have an app, a Kindle app, you can read it on the Kindle app,
Sir,
Amazon Kindle app.
one surprising information. Next session, I'm going to teach design thinking in my school.
Oh, okay. Okay, very nice. Any help, let
We
us
are
know.
going to introduce AI. So for
Okay.
that, actually, learning this course is giving me two benefits. My own knowledge is being increased.
Okay.
Secondly, I'll be teaching the next session this topic to the students.
Nice. Okay. Any help, let us know. Let Suprat Sham or me know. If any help we can extend. Definitely. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Sir, I missed out
Okay.
on this one last question. I know we're running
Yes.
out of time.
Yeah.
But are there examples of DT cases for parents to solve problems related to their children?
Okay. Yes, so this is something that I have taken it upon myself too. Few years ago, and this I use as a model case study on application of design thinking. A few years ago, a colleague of mine and I, we looked at children staring at the screens for a really, really long time. This is pre-pandemic, of course, the 2017 or 16. I don't remember very clearly. But around that time, we were wondering, are kids staring at a mobile screen for too long? What are they doing in their spare time? So, as parents, both of us were concerned. And rather than just letting it be a concern, we actually took up design thinking and applied it. And we did publish a few blog posts. And later, we published the entire paper itself with our findings on a journal. He was a researcher, my colleague was a researcher, and I contributed also to that paper, and we published it. Of course, you also see the same thing as a case in the book. So thankfully, it worked out, and we used there's a character called Akanksha. Based on our own interviews with children, we observed a lot of children and found out what their habits are. I had no clue that kids did all this. And we documented that in a customer journey map. We found out what problems they have, and what opposite views that parents have, and how do we resolve that. We came up with a few ideas. We did make a very, very rudimentary prototype, but it stopped there because lack of bandwidth, and we sort of my friend finished his PhD. I got busy with other stuff, so we couldn't continue on the project. But years later, I come to know that the one of the solutions that we had suggested at the time was when somebody, particularly when kids click on the install button, a notification should pop up with the parent's mobile or device. And it turned out to be true. It is available these days. So we are pleasantly surprised that yes, somebody did do this and come up with this idea. I don't take any claim of novelty on this idea. I felt it was natural to have such an idea, and we didn't do much about it. We started the prototype, but we will take it forward. But somebody else did, and now children are a bit more safer when it comes to the internet. We have parental intervention also. So that's take a project, apply it, and learn for yourself. So this is what I did. This is what my colleague did. This is what I recommend to you too. Whoever you are concerned, their well-being is important. Take it up and apply it. So you have some skin in the game, and you can do it. I know we are out of time, and that's all the time we had for today. So thank you so much, Sukrat and Sham, and all of you who have joined us and asked these very interesting questions, expressed your opinions about the course. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next session, an important one for people who are taking the exams. But keep your questions flowing in the discussion forum. We enjoy reading it, and we would like to be of use to you. We will respond to your questions, all of them. We want to make sure every one of your questions is answered or responded to in some sort of way. Okay, that's our customer support warranty, so to speak. So thank you so much. Good evening to all of you.
Thanks, sir.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for guiding us properly. Nice to meet you.
எடுத்துக்க புதுசா கேக்குற குளிச்சியா நல்லா பச்சதுல குளிச்சியா ரெண்டு பேரும் மெசேஜ் பண்ண போஸ்ட் இருக்கான் அதுக்கும் ரிப்ளை பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க ஒரு செம் இது ஜூம் மீட்டு இது உன்னோட ஸ்வயம் கோர்ஸோடது காலேஜ்ல இருக்கணும் ஜூம் மீட்லாம் அட்டன் பண்ண முடியுமா பைத்தியக்காரங்க அவனுக்கு தெரியாது ஃபுல்லாவே மோர் ஓவர் ஃபேக்கல்டி ஸ்டூடெண்ட் தான் அட்டன் பண்றாங்க வச்சுக்கம்ப 4:30 to 5:30 4 to 5:30 கூட ஆகாது 4:30 இருந்து டிசைன் திங்கிங் என்ன ஜூம் கனெக்ட்லாம் ஆயிடுச்சு அதான் எவனும் 3 பேர் தான் இருக்காங்க அந்த இருக்கிற ஹோஸ்ட் இருக்கான் பேச மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க கேன் யூ இன்டர்நெட் லைவ் வித் கோர்ஸ் இன்ட்ராக்ஷன் ப்ரொஃபசர் அஸ்வின் மகாலிங்கம் அண்ட் ப்ரொஃபசர் பாலச்சந்த் ராமமூர்த்தி ஐஐடிஎம் கோர்ஸ் டிசைன் திங்கிங் ஏ பார்ட்னர் டைமிங் 4:30 ஜூம் மீட்டு பண்ணோன்னு போயிடுச்சு உள்ள போயிடுச்சுடா இதுக்குள்ள போயிடுச்சு யூ வில் ஆல்சோ லைக் டு ஷேர் த த்ரூ த ஸ்ட்ராங் அம்மாக்கு நான் வாங்கிட்டு போன ஸ்ப்ரே வேணுமாமா கால் அடிக்கிறது வலிக்கு போறீங்களா கால்லாம் வலி உட்காரணும் அம்மா சக்க வேலை கிளம்பு நாளைக்கு கிளாஸ் எடுக்கணுமாமா அது ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணணும் கிருஷ்ணா மாதிரி இவங்க கிளாஸ் எடுக்கணுமாமா ஸ்டாஃபுக்கு டிபிடி போட்டு கிளாஸ் எடுக்கணும் எங்க ஸ்டாஃப்ஸ் ஏதாவது நம்ம எடுக்கிற டாபிக்ல ஒரு டாபிக் சாட்டர்டே கிளாஸ் இருக்கும் போதெல்லாம் எடுக்கணும் சாட்டர்டே ஒர்க்கிங்னா 4 பேரா பிரிச்சுடுவாங்க 5 நாளைக்கு 5 பேர் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க 6 பேர்ல ஒருத்தர் லீவு நாளைக்கு அந்த ஒருத்தர் பேர்ல வேற யாரா மாத்திடுவாங்களான்னு தெரியல சுபா துரைராஜ் இவங்க தானே சுபா மேம் தானே சுபா துரை ஒரு லேடி மூஞ்சி ஐயோ. He's